I'm looking at an earlier version of today's forecast. Today was supposed to be sunny, and it is.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, slight chance of showers before noon, slight chance after, but it should be good for.
I'm hoping so.
Good for your
We're
fireworks.
me and the family are heading down to Huntington Park to see Boom at the Park.
Yeah.
So
That should be a good
Phil
time.
Dirt and the Dozers are playing, and
Okay.
McGuffey Lane. It's going to be fantastic. Last year they had British invasion bands, which I felt was interesting because it's the 4th of July.
Sure.
And that was the whole point is that, England, boo.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're coming in to celebrate us kicking their ass.
That's how I explained the 4th of July to my children. Just England, boo.
Well, how was your
King
week?
George III, bad.
How was it? Very bad.
Very bad.
How was your week, Jeff?
My week was excellent. I had a good week this week.
Yeah?
I didn't work very much. I had like 3 days off from here. So
Nice. What'd you do?
I slept.
Nice. I approve of that. I didn't do a whole lot. I vegetated for the most part. I caught up.
I fermented. You vegetated.
I caught up on some bad television so that you don't have to.
Oh yeah, no. So you got to see the Battle of the Network Stars already, right?
I did. Oh well, before I get into that, because that was.
Because you've been looking forward to that.
Well, I'll tear that apart in a second.
Okay.
I did binge watch because I like American Horror Story, the Ryan Murphy stuff.
Yeah.
I like that. So the latest series was not a horror story. It was that Feud. The thing was called Feud,
Joan
Betty
Crawford
and Joan.
and
So
Betty
it was,
Davis.
Yeah, with Susan Sarandon and Jessica Lange. That was amazing. It was only 8 episodes. I highly recommend it. That was the only good thing I watched on television this week, and I watched more things. I had been excited about the new Battle of the Network Stars.
No, I watched great stuff on Big Brother started.
Okay, well, we're on to me now.
Okay.
So, the Battle of the Network Stars, well, I was very excited. Classic TV show. It was great back in the day.
For some reason, whenever Battle of the Network Stars goes into my head, for some reason, I always have the same image.
What?
Gene Kaplan, TV's Welcome Back, Kotter. Gabe Kaplan.
Yes.
TV's Welcome Back, Kotter.
Yeah.
Running in really short shorts and high white socks via, very early 80s, late 70s style.
Well, that was the style.
I know, but for some reason, it's a weird flashback.
Okay.
It's almost like, PTSD from when I was a kid and watched the original run. And it's Gabe Kaplan, and I can't get it out of my head, and I think I need to see somebody.
The only thing I remember about it is that Scott Baio kicked everybody's tail in the obstacle course.
Well, Scott Baio was a young stud at the time.
He was on steroids.
Yeah, but you can be a young stud on TV and not have one iota of athletic ability. I'm saying Scott Baio was legit.
That's true. So this week was the premiere
of the new one.
Of the new one. And on the old days, it was ABC versus CBS and NBC. And so they start right off by telling you why they're not doing it that way this year.
Oh, okay.
And it's because, there are 1,000 networks, and we just couldn't, we couldn't make a whole team out of everyone from HGTV or, whatever the thing was. I don't know. So they broke them up, the ones they had.
Sorry, Netflix.
So the ones they had this time around they had 10 celebrities, and it was sitcoms versus TV kids. And some of the contestants could have gone either way. So because
TV kids,
for people,
so they had adults versus minors.
Not exactly, but they had people who had been kids on TV. Like they had the actresses who played Blair and Tootie on The Facts of Life, and you would say, well, that was also a sitcom. Well, for purposes of competition, they put them in the TV kids. Well, they could have been either place.
Wow.
Yeah, the problem is now you have to do it this way because you have, like you mentioned, Joe, there's crossovers of actors that are on different networks. I don't know how you used to.
Well, they also had
was Brian Bonsale there, who was the kid on Family Ties?
No, still in jail.
When they jumped the shark.
So they had but they had actors who were like, they had somebody who's on Modern Family now, and she's probably like 22 or 23 years old. I don't know. Versus Bronson Pinchot from Perfect Strangers, who's like 60 or above.
Yeah, that's
a fair fight.
Cousin Balky?
But to Campy's point about how you could be like a real toned, real athletic, and stink up the place.
Yeah.
Joey Lawrence can't sink a basketball to save his life.
Right. That's exactly my point.
You know who beat him in basketball?
Exactly what he did with the free throw.
You know who beat him in basketball?
I'm going to say a girl. Right.
Dave Coulier from Full House nailed every shot. Okay, but anyway.
Be aware that their comedians can be good athletes.
It was hosted by Mike Greenberg from Mike and Mike and ESPN. I like him. He's good.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And some guy who I don't know.
Joe Tessitore. He does college football game day also.
Okay. They should explain that because whatever. But anyway, so they're wearing like the gold blazers like from the original days of Battle of the Network Stars. And every time Bronson Pinchot did something.
Or they were moonlighting as Century 21 real estate agents.
Every time Bronson Pinchot did something, Mike Greenberg made the same joke. Like 5 times in an hour, he went, "Oh, I bet we see Balky do the dance of joy." Got it. Wasn't funny the first time. 5 times.
That only worked for Letterman.
Now, you have to bring up, because I've already heard secondhand information on this, but please describe the look of Tom Arnold.
Well, first of all, he was late.
Okay. Okay. It's good for a taping.
He was late.
That's late.
He was
and
late.
they showed it. They didn't edit that part out.
No,
they were so
they made a
angry
big
that
deal
they
out
made
of it.
sure to include Tom Arnold's car coming into the parking lot.
They made a big deal out of it.
With a countdown clock on it. He's 23 minutes late.
They made a big deal out of him being late. He looked, I'll be nice and say disheveled. He appeared to have
See, I heard he
been up late doing something. I don't know
he
what.
just come off a 24-hour bender.
That's the word I was.
He was wearing an Iowa tuxedo.
But in the end, he is like the champion of the whole thing because they finished with the
spoiler alert.
I hope my brother's not listening. He taped part 2.
No one is watching this.
He did.
Yeah.
First of all, they have no one around cheering anybody on.
Oh,
there's no one around
like the
cheering anybody
inauguration
on, and so they have the tug of war at the end, and Tom Arnold gets his team all riled up by saying, you know,
he was a team captain.
No, but he got the team all together and said that he was like
put in the effort that I didn't.
The anchor of his college's tug of war team. Is that a thing? Because I produce you guys on Sports Slam, and I don't ever hear you talking about competitive tug of war.
No, there's no tug of war, but I could tell you if Tom Arnold, at the size that he was, if you remember from the Roseanne episodes, I'm sure he just tied the rope around and just sat down.
Well, he did.
Des Moines Community College didn't really have a football team, so they had to do tug of war.
Well, it was awful. And I'll tell you, by comparison, I then watched a rerun. I don't usually watch the show. It was a celebrity version of American Ninja Warrior.
Oh, okay.
And Tom Arnold was on it?
No, there were other people. And it was fantastic and well done, and people were around cheering. Yeah. And the ABC folks need to watch that, because that's how the show should be done.
Well, I could tell you, I did see an episode of that, and they do, each celebrity that does this, they do have their own kind of specific fear going through each a certain obstacle, but it's for charity. So when you watch them, do where they are on the water and you're jumping from step to slanted step, some people have an issue with that.
I want to see Celebrity Wipeout.
But I got to tell you, you're right, Joe. The way they get involved, that some of the other contestants that are actual, American ninjas or whatever, they created like a human ladder for the big wall at the end.
Oh, yeah. Well, I watched the whole thing. Yeah, it was great.
It's pretty neat. They need to do it that way.
So save your time. Don't bother watching Battle of the Network Stars. Huge disappointment. Stinkeroo. And your time is I don't even know you, but your time's too valuable. You gotta go do something else.
Why did they get network stars who aren't stars anymore?
I didn't even recognize half the people.
Yeah, it's not Battle of the Network has-beens.
It was. That's what they should rename the show.
I mean, I understand. I mean, Blair, she was on Survivor a couple seasons ago, but she's now an author now. Yeah, she was on Survivor. Okay. Yeah, the actress was on Survivor.
Well,
show was in shape 30
They kept showing clips of the original show.
He's Cousin Balky. Call him Balky.
Because they did. It was like they couldn't remember the actors' names. They kept going, there goes Tootie.
See, but
her name's Kim.
See, I would have called
Kim Fields, right?
I would have called Bronson Pinchot Serge from Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, Serge.
No, but Eddie called him Serge.
The most athletic person there was actually Blair from Facts of Life.
Well, she was on Survivor.
She was great.
She did great on Survivor, too. She was really good in the physical comps,
Lisa Welchel. I just know that name because I had a mad crush on her when I was a kid. Loved her.
Well, you didn't have the crush that Joe had on her because Joe wrote her fan letters and got her grandma to write them back.
That's absolutely 100% true.
Get out of Dodge. Really?
I still have the letter. I still have the letter that I got from her grandma 30 years ago.
Yeah, when Lisa Welcher did the hair wave.
You know what the really sad part is?
It said, "Dear sir, please do not write my granddaughter again. It's spooky."
Do you know what the really sad part is?
What?
I'm sure that grandma's dead.
Oh, that's probably true. And the last thing I watched, because then I know we're going to hit a break. The last thing I watched
30 years ago.
I watched last night. I watched the recent Chips movie that made $6 at the box office.
What? Why?
You know what? It was could.
Whatever.
Oh,
you'll love the new Baywatch movie then.
I thought Chips was going to be terrible. I was ready to hate it.
I'm watching Baywatch for different reasons, just like the guys from Friends.
Okay,
I recommend
slow motion.
Oh yeah,
I recommend Chips.
Oh yeah.